Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown, and for some reason my prompter just turned off. Give me 1 second to unplug and plug it back in. Hold on. We're gonna unplug it. We're gonna plug it back in. That was weird. The stream also glitched a tiny bit when I clicked start the intro as well, so it could have been that. All right, give us 2 seconds. I might be frozen for like half a second. Okay. And let me pull my notes back up on it now. A little inside baseball. I got the Elgato. It's the Elgato prompter. So it's not just like your normal prompter that it just feeds prompter stuff. And I don't know why we're lagging so bad right now. But it basically works as another monitor, which is super cool. Highly recommend it if you are in the realm for a prompter, I guess you would say. Give me 1 second to get my notes pulled up on it. And hopefully everything smooths back out. I don't know why we're lagging a little bit. All right, we're good. That was weird. But we're here. We're talking Smackdown. And I got to say it. This was another one of them Smackdowns that felt freaking long. That felt long. Another one where like the Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax match is going on. I'm like, ooh, main event. No, it's not. No, it's not. This match is starting with still like an hour left in the show. Oh my freaking God. So yeah, this show felt long. It felt like, as we've said multiple times this year, a 2-hour show stretched out. So not the best work. Not the best work, I would say. Like, not a bad episode of SmackDown. The main event match was really good. The Cody segment at the beginning of the show was really good. Naomi and Chelsea Green. Can't say anything bad about that match. We got confirmation that we might be getting a tag match with Trish Stratus at Elimination Chamber. Kevin and Sammy maybe at the Chamber instead of WrestleMania. I'm going to talk about that and what I think that could lead to. So, yeah. Like, not a bad episode of SmackDown, but like I just can't say it was good because it felt so long. It was just so stretched out, and I can't wait till after Mania when we're out of these goddamn 3-hour Smackdowns. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And we'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by becoming a channel member by hitting the join button. Now, I do have to preface, I had some things go on over the last 24 hours, family-wise. I got a daughter that's sick. Like, I think she's got the flu, if not worse. So I said that the tutorial for the Royal Rumble graphics would be out today. I apologize. I will get those out tomorrow. I will get those done and out tomorrow for Patreon subscribers and YouTube channel members. So you will have that tomorrow. Just been dealing with a sick kid and a couple of little family things. But nonetheless, if you do help us out over on YouTube as a channel member or patreon.com/PW Unlimited at the $1 tier, you get access to emojis and you get access to emotes you can use in the live chat. You get access to our graphic tutorials and early access to other videos we're working on as well. Plus, if you're at the $5 tier or higher, you get into our Q&As. We'll be doing one of them next week. And you get into our watch-alongs, which we will be doing a Elimination Chamber watch-along, not next week, but the following week. Not next week, but the following week, we will be doing a Elimination Chamber watch-along. Not sure which one yet. I'm going to poll you guys, ask you guys, and see which one you guys think is, quote-unquote, the best Elimination Chamber. Not like best Elimination Chamber match, per se. I think this is what we're going to do. I want to find Elimination Chamber pay-per-view since they've been doing the women's chambers, and which one, since they've been doing both men's and women's chambers, do you think is the best? And then we'll watch one of those so we get both the men's and women's chamber in our watch along. Unless you want me to just go back to that first chamber or like the second chamber, because those two were really good, and just do those. So we'll figure it out. We'll see. I'll poll the people, poll the crowds, poll the everybody, and see what you guys think. Remember, you can become a channel member here on YouTube or patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. And also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting in on that winter sale. You're trying to get some of the stuff from the DICE Awards last night, big awards show last night. Got some winners there. Maybe you're wanting to check out some of that. Spider-Man 2 is now on PC. Plus, the new Iron Man skin, which is fully customizable with different colors and whatnot. And we got a new Captain America skin. It's Sam Wilson Captain America. Avatar's out as well, all in Fortnite. And when you're getting those, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout. Or in the Epic Game Store. The Fortnite store page, you go to the bottom, it's going to say, do you have a creator code? And you do. It's PW Unlimited. But as far as Smackdown does go, no Joe Tessitore tonight. It was Vic Joseph on the call, and I'm like, Vic Joseph instead of Corey Graves? Man, they're really pissed at Corey to not have him come out here and just do the play-by-play, as he's done plenty before with Wade. Like, we've seen the commentary team of Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. So for them to get Vic Joseph over Corey Graves, damn, he's probably still in the doghouse, it seems like. Anyway, as far as the show does go, live from Washington, D.C., Wade Barrett read the Constitution to open the show. Nia Jax arrived in the building. Tiffany Stratton arrived. Braun Strowman, Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and others all arrived at the building. This is when we first learned that Vic Joseph is in, and Joe's out for the night. We get a recap from last week and everything that went down with the return of Solo Sikoa. And Cody Rhodes then comes down to the ring about almost 10 minutes into this show. It was like 7:08, 7:09 Central by the time Cody was finally in the ring. Probably 10, 11 after the top of the hour by the time Cody started talking. And I'm like, you're going to get this fucking show on the road? So Cody comes down to the ring. He starts talking about Elimination Chamber and states, hey, with my boy Jey Uso picking Gunther on Monday, that means the winner of the Elimination Chamber faces me at WrestleMania. And he starts running down all the guys we know so far. He's like, could it be the great athlete Logan Paul? Could it be my buddy CM Punk, the greatest of all time, John Cena, or Drew McIntyre? And this kind of pisses off Drew, and Drew comes out. Drew comes down to the ring, and he ran down his resume, which includes 2 Elimination Chamber wins and 3 world titles, and a nearly year-long stint in 3MP. Drew is also one of the few men that have actually pinned Cody since his return to WWE, and Cody hasn't forgotten. Drew then said, you know, I've done all these things, and you just say, and Drew McIntyre? So Cody goes, hold on. I do have to apologize for that one. That was wrong of me to kind of just dismiss you. Give me a second. Crowd, how about, and Drew McIntyre? And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. He's looking for a Claymore. Anywho, they're bickering when Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga come down to the ring. Crowd was wild for Fatu, who says, all gas, no brakes tonight. Says he'll run through Damian Priest and Braun Strowman, then the Elimination Chamber, and get that title at WrestleMania and bring it back to the family. Drew suggested DC wants to see us fight, don't they? He goes, but I already got my spot in the chamber, so I don't need to deal with any of this. And he leaves. And smart for him. Don't need to get hurt before the Elimination Chamber. So it's just Cody, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga back in the corner. So Cody kind of is standing there. Jacob starts, eyeing Cody in the belt and circling him like the wolf that he is. And he says, all I gotta do is win tonight, win the chamber, and I get the title shot. And then that's all of a sudden when we see Solo arriving on the big screen. He's walking through the parking lot, or the parking area, not the parking lot, but the parking area. And Fatu goes, you know what? I got some family business I got to discuss with Solo. Cody goes, go for it. You get the first word, but leave me the last. Now Tonga and Jacob Fatu then leave to go look for Solo. Wade Barrett then talks to Trish Stratus, who was sitting in the front row. He says, Trish, we saw you at WrestleMania, or we saw you at the Royal Rumble. You looked great. What's next for you? And she goes, well, he goes, he said, what's next for you? Elimination Chambers in your hometown, Toronto. Could we see you there? And she goes, well, yeah, I will be at Elimination Chamber, but what I got to figure out is, do I want to be in the seats or the suites? And I'm like, oh, she's not going to work a match. We learn later she's working a match. Was that officially announced? Hold on. But I think it's going to be, from what it seemed, now you can take this two different ways. But from what it seemed, is we're getting a tag match. I haven't seen anything officially announced yet. Yeah, nothing for Trish officially announced, but because it was weird, because Trish was like, hey, Tiffany, Elimination Chamber, you, me, and you got a little problem going on, but... And so it sounds like she wants to team with Tiffany against Nia and Candice LeRae. But then at the same time, you can interpret that, because she never said that fully. You could interpret it as, does she want to challenge Tiffany? I don't think that's what it is, though. That would be a heel thing to do if that was it. But yeah, she said she's going to be Elimination Chamber. We learn more later. We then get an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. It goes 8.5 minutes. It's Naomi and the United States Champion, Chelsea Green. Not a bad match. There's literally nothing in this match you can complain about. I wouldn't say, oh, it's a great match. Go out of your way. Go check it out if you didn't see it. But there's literally nothing wrong with this match at all. It was a perfect television match. These two worked really well together. But Naomi hit a meteor early for a near fall. Green dropped to the floor and caught Naomi with a pump kick when she followed her to the outside. After a long commercial break, Naomi hit Green with a crossbody off the top. Naomi then hit a bulldog and a scissor kick to get the near fall. Naomi hit an ugly heat seeker, but missed a split leg moonsault. Also, I do gotta say, I switched off of watching Smackdown on Netflix, because Smackdown on Netflix doesn't get the picture-in-picture. Now on USA, we got all the picture-in-picture. So I'm no longer watching Smackdown on Netflix with the VPN. If you want to do that, though, hey, go for it. But you're not getting the picture-in-picture. I assume NXT is the same way, but I haven't watched NXT live much recently. Yeah, I just haven't watched NXT live much recently. Like, whenever I do watch it on a Tuesday, I'm probably watching like an hour late. So I'm fast forwarding through those commercials, not paying attention. It's rare when I watch NXT live, but I do try to catch most of it on a Tuesday night if I can. Anyways, Green hit her ugly Rough Rider for a near fall. Like the worst looking thing in the match. It looked kind of weird, but I think like Naomi kind of stiffed her body up a little too much for it. This is what it looked like. I could be wrong. Green dropped Naomi with a backstabber for a near fall. Green tried to come off the top with an unprettier, but Naomi slipped out and caught Green with a kick out of the corner. Naomi then hit the split-legged moonsault for the pin and got the victory. Naomi has qualified for the Elimination Chamber. And let's check out who all has qualified for that chamber so far. So far we do know, and give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. Why won't this image pull up on the screen? So far we do know oh, come on. Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Naomi. One spot left for the Elimination Chamber, which will go Monday to either Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez. I'm going to say Roxanne Perez qualifies. That's my prediction. Give me 1 second. I want to try something really fast. Okay, no, I don't have that set up. Never mind. I'm going to try to do something cool on stream, but it didn't work. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below or the live chat who you think is going to come out victorious on Monday. Is it going to be Roxanne or Raquel getting that last spot in the chamber? we get a video from Sami Zayn, which we saw earlier in the day on social media. Basically, Sami's just saying, since I've been laid out by Kevin, I haven't been doing well. I've been seeing doctors and specialists. And Zayn then says that he thought friendship meant being concerned when your friend is laid out on the floor. Zayn believes that Owens' definition of friendship is pushing Cody Rhodes off a ladder to help him cheat and win a match. But is it really cheating if it's no DQ? Is it? Is it? Anyways, Zayn doesn't know when he'll be cleared. But when he is, Sami and Kevin are going to, quote, do it again, he said. We then got the video telling us that Michelle McCool will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year alongside Triple H. They announced that this morning on ESPN during the Get Up. Or just Get Up, not the Get Up, but just Get Up. So that's really cool. I think she's one. So, and this is going to sound bad, but a lot of years we get these random people in the Hall of Fame. It's like, why you? Why that person? But this one makes sense. Michelle McCool does make sense as far as going in the Hall of Fame and being, I guess you would say, deserving of a Hall of Fame induction. Because, like, I said this earlier, and I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but it's like, when you think of the evolution of the women's division in WWE, you had Alundra Blaze, and that kind of petered out. And then, like, women were just eye candy for a while. Miss Jackie and Sable, the Cat, Tori, and then Trish and Lita come in the early 2000s. And they start doing more match-wise stuff. They start having more athletic matches, doing different things in their matches. And it's like, oh, wow. They're really going to let the women do cool things, do better things. And then when they retired, not going to lie, it kind of got stagnant a little bit again with the women. But then we had people like Michelle McCool. We had the Bellas, AJ Lee. We had, actually, even before, during that, we had Michelle McCool, Layla, and Beth Phoenix. More Michelle McCool and Beth than Layla as far as like super athletic, doing great things in matches. And they were bringing the women's division up again, showing us that the women can have matches just about as good as the men if given the time. Then we have that next generation of women, like at the end of the Bellas, the end of AJ Lee and whatnot, when the NXT women came up, the Four Horsewomen. And that's when we got the women's division of today. So I feel like Michelle McCool is one of those tent poles of, hey, when things started to get stagnant again, she and Beth Phoenix, of course, in that era, Natty as well, showed us what the women can actually do and said, hey, no. We ain't just your eye candy to go out here on SmackDown and have Taz moderate a goddamn dance in bikinis. Because we had a lot of those on SmackDown with like Nydia and Dawn Marie and Sable and Tori Wilson and stuff in the early 2000s. So yeah, I think Michelle McCool, very, very deserving. And I think this now makes her and Taker the second husband-wife duo in the Hall of Fame. Because the first was Edge and Beth. Well, Cope and Beth. But I can't think of any other husband-wives in the Hall of Fame. So next up, we did have a Motor City Machine Guns versus Los Garza. This is a good little match. We go to a commercial break, about a minute in, though. And then after that, it felt rushed after that. So after the break, Sabin got the hot tag and got a near fall on Carrillo with a Cradle. Drop kick off the top from Sabin into a flatliner, got a near fall. Garza held Shelley in a power slam while Carrillo put Sabin on Garza's shoulders. Then Carrillo spun off the top, or off the ropes with a big kick. This looked freaking cool. So, like, Sabin is up on Angel's shoulders in like a electric chair position. Berto then bounces off the ropes, comes back, and boom, kicks Sabin off of him. This looked really cool, especially when they show the slow motion replay, because he got height off of this, and it's just, do this more. These guys need to be doing this move more. Like, make this their finish. Granted, they don't win a lot of matches, so that means they wouldn't be doing it a lot, but whatever. I thought this looked super cool, and it was smooth and clean. So, since Saturday, yes, thank you, Booker and Sharmell. I keep forgetting Sharmell's in the Hall of Fame. My bad. Anyways, so they do the kick, the springboard kick off the shoulders. Creel then went for a moonsault, but ate Shelley's boots. After a plancha on the floor, Sabin and Shelley hit the skull and bones on Berto and pinned him to pick up the victory. It's a good little match that we saw maybe a minute of before the break and then another 3 maybe after the break. And it was just all action and really good. Like, these two teams worked very well together. And I'm going to say this. When it comes to the SmackDown tag team division, all these tag teams actually really work well together. Like in certain areas of wrestling and stuff, you'll see like, oh, those guys are okay together. Oh, those guys didn't have a good match. Oh, those two don't never have good matches together. Oh, those teams aren't cohesive. Like in AEW right now, a lot of those tag teams that don't work well together. It's hit or miss, or it's like, oh, you can't have like, I'm just gonna say it, Private Party versus Top Flight, not gonna be that great of a match because they need a more advanced team to kind of, I guess you would say, carry them or make the match better. But it's like with these teams on SmackDown, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Pretty Deadly, the Garzas, the Street Profits. That's like 5 teams right there. Excuse me, I'm trying to burp in the microphone. But that's 5 teams right there, and they all seemingly work well together. So that's really cool. Those Garza haven't been the same without Elektra. This was the first show without her. What the hell are you talking about, Trey? Haven't been the same without her. This is the dang first show that she's not been in with the company. Like, okay, guy. I didn't even notice that her not being out there at ringside with them didn't make a difference. Santos came down with them. They did the 3, So, yeah. No offense to Elektra. I thought she was a great manager, but I didn't. If you told me she was out there, I wouldn't be like, oh, really? Okay, sure. If you told me she wasn't out there, oh, okay, really? Sure. It didn't really make that much of a difference. Because, like, she's good in the backstage stuff with them or the skits. Really good in the family skits when they're doing, like, the family table things. But it's like, and this is on the company, they just haven't been giving her much to do as the manager. They'll send her down there with the Garzas just to be like, yeah, and point at him. All right. And it's like, yeah. But, like, in NXT, when she was with Legado del Fantasma and doing things and getting involved, it was good. She was good at that. She's not the greatest wrestler. She's a really good manager to help her boys. And we saw that in NXT. So, just saying. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga were backstage looking for Solo Sikoa. At one point, they saw some guy with the headset on. He's got to be like a production guy. And they're like, you seen Solo? And he's like, I'm that way. And then all of a sudden, Jacob just comes in, Braun Strowman his ass right into the goddamn roadbox and killed this guy. Like 2018 Braun when he would just mow people down. Crazy. So they find Solo eventually, though. And Sikoa owned up to letting the family down by losing the Ulafala to Roman Reigns. Sikoa seemingly threw his support behind Jacob and said, I love you, Jacob. Which, new shirt variation coming. I'm going to tell you that right now. New shirt variation coming. We have our I Love You Solo shirt that's actually selling very well. I tell you, tomorrow we will have an I Love You Jacob shirt. So the crowd reaction told me that it's not a good thing for Jacob Fatu, Solo being in his corner. So then we had a Nakamura segment. He got the what treatment. I feel bad for this guy. Nakamura got the what treatment from the crowd while he I wrote that weird. He talked about how he has a lack of competition for the U.S. title, and it doesn't take long for, LA Knight to come out. Like, they can't throw anybody else fucking out here. It's got to be LA Knight or nobody, I guess. We got Miz too, but still. So Knight comes out, and Knight cut a great promo on his way to the ring. He said he's been screwed over many times. He wants his U.S. title back, and then the Miz shows up. Miz called the crowd not smart and basic, and was about to deem himself the only worthy contender, but Knight cut Miz off before he can go any further and said, list all your accomplishments. And did like a list all your accomplishments promo like Miz always does. I've won this title and that title and all the titles and done this movie and that movie and this movie. He never mentions that Christmas movie he did with Saraya, though. Knight suggested that Miz start his own farewell tour, and the crowd agreed. Miz started mock crying, like fake crying. Knight then said Miz and Drew McIntyre are, quote, running neck and neck as the, quote, biggest crybaby bitches. Miz called his shot for the U.S. title, and Knight responded with, dude, you suck. He said more, but that was the gist of it. Knight then went for the BFT, but Miz escaped. Nick Aldis then came down and said, you know what, Miz, Knight, you guys want to fight? It's on tonight. And the match was next. Basically, I guess it's the number one contenders match. So, LA Knight did take on the Miz in a 10-minute match. Well, we got 10 minutes of it. It started during the break. We joined the match mid-match. Knight caught Miz with a power slam for a near fall. Nakamura was still lurking around ringside. Miz took control with all of the best kicks and chin locks and what looked like a poor man's version of a hammer and throw elbow that the Blackpool Combat Club usually does. You know, bruh. It didn't look good, though. It's Miz. It didn't look good, just like the 8 kicks. Knight then backdropped Miz to the floor, then followed him out there, sliding drop kick. Knight smashed Miz's head on the announce table. Nakamura distracted Knight, and Miz took control, sending him into the ring steps. After another commercial break, Knight hit a neck breaker, followed with a snap power slam, and landed a big elbow for a near fall. At one point, Miz went for a skull-crushing finale, though, and Knight dropped out of it into a cradle for a near fall. Miz hit a DDT and got a near fall of his own. Knight then ran into a boot from Miz, but then hit the BFT out of nowhere. Knight then hit an elbow off the top and got the victory. So LA Knight does pick up the win. I would assume this means we're getting once again LA Knight and Nakamura for the title. Maybe Chamber? Because right now we've got 2 matches official. We know of a third possible match. We've got a Sammy Kevin something. I don't know if it's a match or just a brawl fight, whatever. So this would make 5. If we count this Kevin Sammy thing. So, we'll see. We know most likely no world title match. It's like, who's going to challenge Cody? Gunther's got Jay at Mania, so he ain't defending his title. So, we'll see. So, Alexa Bliss walks up on Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, or Candice LeRae, and wishes her good luck in her match later. Wyatt stuff happens on the screen, so we know she's involved with them still. And then she says something about friends turning on friends, and then says, you know what, Nia, if you win tonight and become the champion again, and I win the Elimination Chamber, we can run it back and have a rematch at WrestleMania. Because remember, they did have a WrestleMania match before. So, yeah. It's not going to happen because that match ended in a DQ. But anyways, we go to the back, and Miz is walking around all hurt and whatnot, and Andrade comes up and he goes, hey, I watched your match. Not bad, but I can teach you some things. And Miz is like, oh, yeah, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't need to learn from you. And Carmelo Hayes comes up on Miz and was like, yeah, guys like him don't show us any respect. And Miz is like, yeah, you're right. You? Me? Let's do this. Because Melo never misses. And he tries to, like, fist bump him, and Melo's just like, yeah, no. And so Melo goes to come out for his match, and Wade's like, did you get that one, Vic? Mrs. Melo never misses. Trying to make a tag team name. But we do get Carmelo Hayes in action, him and R-Truth in a 2.5-minute match. Apparently this was set up earlier in the day in the backstage segment. Hayes jumps Truth at the start and cut him off before he could do his John Cena-inspired comeback with the super kick. Hayes escaped an attitude adjustment from Truth and then came off the top with the scissor kick and got the pin to pick up the victory. Simple match. It was just there to get Carmelo Hayes a win, and I'm here for it. Give Hayes some wins and build this goddamn guy up, because he's been a nobody on the main roster so far. So if we can have him he beat Tozawa last week, beat Truth this week, just give him a few more wins and build them up so he can now challenge for the U.S. title. It'd be great. We got highlights from the Eagles Super Bowl victory parade, showing them with the WWE Championship. We then got a really good Street Profits vignette. It's hyping them up. They still want the smoke. So like they're acting heel in this video, I guess. Like they're like, oh, we're not taking any shit anymore. Blah blah blah. This is followed with DIY and Pretty Deadly chatting it up in advance of their WWE Tag Team Championship match next week. And this all seems to be building some sort of big multi-team match at WrestleMania. Like those 5 teams that I mentioned earlier, probably all going to be in some sort of big old ladder match or something, probably a Mania. Multi-team something. Let me see. There's 5 teams, right, on SmackDown. Let's look at the SmackDown roster really fast. Let's pull up the SmackDown roster and see what we got. SmackDown. So we got Motor City Machine Guns, Garza's, Street Profits. That's 3. Pretty Deadly 4. DIY 5. And yeah, 5. I mean, you got Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, but Tonga Loa's out injured. You can do Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu's probably going to be doing his own thing. So 5 teams. I can see them all doing something together at WrestleMania. So then they say Kevin Owens has responded to Sami Zayn. You get another video of Kevin in his car. These are always great. He said, sure, Sammy's neck is hurt, but he's the one feeling the real pain. He starts to get emotional. He's wearing, also, got to call out his fit, as the kids say, the fit. He's got a Bret Hart jacket on, which, if you know, Sami Zayn's hero as a kid, his idol growing up. Anyways, Owens promised to show Sami what real pain is, where this all started for both of them in Canada. When? Toronto, March 1st. Elimination Chamber. Kevin Owens challenges Sami Zayn to come find him at Elimination Chamber. So then we get our women's title match. Tiffany Stratton defending the WWE Women's Championship in a 17-minute match against Nia Jax. Yeah, you heard me right. 17-minute match that ends in a fucking DQ. Goddamn DQ. Why do these matches that end in DQ gotta go so long? Like, why? Why? Oh, that's why. You gotta stretch a 3-hour show. Fuck me. So early on, well, first off, we see Charlotte Flair's watching backstage. And this is weird because we see this TV on the wall. Like, say, I don't know, my phone, for instance. Pretend this is a lot bigger. Say my phone is a TV on the wall back here, right? And then Charlotte sits down in a chair like this. So the TV is back here. Unless there's like another TV in front of her we didn't see. What the fuck? Are you supposed to watch? Go like this? Weird as fuck. Anyways. So Jax ragdolls Tiffany early on right at the start. Stratton cartwheels out of a toss at one point. But got caught with the pop-up headbutt for a near fall. Jax tried a hip attack against the ring post, but Stratton escaped and hit a handspring elbow. Jax dropped Stratton with a Samoan drop for a near fall. There's a slam and a leg drop from Jax that got another, you guessed it, near fall. Jax went for a hip attack against the ring post for a second time and did not miss. That drop then dropped an elbow for a near fall. After a commercial break, Stratton fought her way into a chinlock or out of a chinlock. Stratton and Jax went for some kind of power bomb into a sunset flip thing, but it went very badly and didn't look good. No one got hurt, it seemed, so kudos. Jax then caught Stratton going for a second handspring elbow and just dumped her, then dropped the leg right on her ribs for a near fall. Jackson put Stratton on her shoulders for a super Samoan drop, but Stratton slipped free, tripped up Jax, and came off the top with a double foot stomp for a near fall. Stratton then went to the top again, but Jax tripped her up, setting up for a super Samoan drop for a near fall. Jax then dropped a leg off the middle rope and got a near fall off of it as well. We see Charlotte again watching from the back. After a commercial break, Stratton hit a moonsault to the floor on Jax. Stratton is getting huge babyface reactions here. Like, goddamn, turn her if she already hasn't. Like, she has, but hasn't, because she's still like she's a babyface now, but she still kind of acts cocky heel. She did that last week or no, 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So she still got the little heel tendencies. But again, that's probably because she's always been a heel her entire career. And so she's got to like learn to not do some of that stuff. Anyways, back in the ring, Stratton hit a swanton bomb for a 2, a great looking swanton. Stratton then tried to pick up Jax for a Samoa drop, but fell under Jax's weight. Jax went for a bonsai drop, but Stratton got out of the way in another little clumsy looking spot that almost went awry. Stratton went for a prettiest moonsault ever, but LeRae then jumped up on the apron and pushed her to cause a disqualification. Candice then got a chair, but Trish Stratus runs up from the crowd and makes the save. Stratus did get squashed, though, with an avalanche move from Jax. Jax then levels Stratton with another leg drop and gaggled with the gaggle of officials pulling her away, including Jason Jordan. And I want to say Kenny Dykstra was out there, too. They break this all up, and her and Nia go to leave. Or her and Candice go to leave. And as they're walking up the ramp, Charlotte's music hits. Charlotte comes down to the ring, and Tiffany's all laid out, hurting. Charlotte gets a chair and sits down and goes, Tiffy, oh, Tiffy. Blink if you can hear me. And Tiffany starts moving, and she goes, okay, I know you're okay. You're moving. Quote, the queen chooses you. See you at WrestleMania. So it is official. Tiffany Stratton will defend the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. With Charlotte choosing Tiffany, that means the winner of the Chamber faces Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. There we go. So then we finally, but not really, get a Jade update. Who attacked Jade? Nick Aldis is in his office, and he's like, Bianca, Naomi, thank you. Thank you for being here. I might have somewhat of an update on our investigation on who attacked Jade Cargill. And they're like, really? Finally. He's like, yeah, I got it in the form of video. Now, keep in mind, this was shot on a cell phone and sent to me anonymously, so I don't know who sent it. But let's watch. And then he says, and let's watch. And then they all look at the screen. And Nick's like trying to press the button, and it's not playing. And Naomi and Bianca are just looking at the screen going, and it's not playing for a good, they're all standing there in silence for a good 30, 45 seconds. And maybe I'm exaggerating and it's not that long, but it felt that long. And then finally the video plays on the screen. And it's from when they were putting Jade into the, ambulance. And so they're putting Jade in the ambulance, and like someone's running out. I think it's Naomi and Bailey, or somebody's running out to the ambulance. And then the shot zooms out, and then to the left, all of a sudden you see Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez from behind walking the other way. And immediately Bianca and Naomi were like, look, it's them. Look, we told you from the start. It was probably them. It was probably Liv and Raquel. We knew it was, and they said it was us or me or you. And Nick's like, calm down. This doesn't prove anything other than they were around. They were here. They were there that night. He's like, but without any pure evidence, and not now having to look more into it, we can't say for sure that it was them. I will convene with Adam Pearce. We will talk things over, and we'll see what we can do to get to the bottom of this. So, basically, he was just like, oh, yeah, they were there, but we don't know if it's them. So we're still back at square one. But then Naomi and Bianca said, screw all that. We're going to Raw Monday to confront them. So, there we go. We go to the back, and Tiffany's all beat up walking around when Trish Stratus comes up on her. And she's like, so you got a problem. But how about you, me, Toronto, Elimination Chamber? And Tiffany goes, really? You and me? Tiffy time? Trishy time? And yeah, so it seems like Trish and Tiffany versus Nia and Candice at Elimination Chamber. So Jimmy Uso's in the back watching the monitor, and Drew McIntyre comes up to give him some terrible career advice. He goes, hey, but at least you married up, right? And Jimmy gets all mad and goes to walk off. And Drew goes, it's okay, Jim. Poof. Jimmy super kicks the crap out of him. Pretty sure he called him Jay on purpose. Anyways, yeah, gives them super kick for his troubles. I didn't see if that got announced for like a match next week. Drew and it did. Now that I'm looking here on Twitter because I was looking to see if we've got confirmation of that dang women's match yet for Elimination Chamber. Not yet. I would assume that's what it is, though. Anyways. So we go on to our main event. Qualifying match for the men's Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest, Braun Strowman, and Jacob Fatu. Really good match. Wade did his own version of, this match makes me glad I'm retired, like Gorilla Monsoon used to do. Strowman hit Fatu with the boot to start things off, and Priest and Fatu knocked Strowman to the floor with a double shoulder block. This then left the two big men, well, they're all big men, but this then left the two big men in the ring, Priest and Fatu, to go after one another. Fatu hit Priest with a running elbow. While Fatu and Priest were brawling, Strowman ran in with a crossbody and then sent both Fatu and Priest to the floor with the clothesline. After a long break, we did get the picture-in-picture, though, Strowman pulled Fatu out of the ring and threw him against the dasher boards. Fatu then sent Strowman into the ring steps and went back into the ring to deal with Priest. Priest then stunned Fatu with an elbow strike and took him down with a spinning heel kick. Priest then knocked Strowman off the apron, and after a super kick, Priest tried for an old school rope walk and fought on Fatu, but Strowman caught Priest and choked him. Fatu then pulled Priest into a Samoan drop, and Fatu hit a swanton on Priest for a near fall. What can this man not do? This man is freaking amazing. Fatu then went for another Samoan drop, but Priest escaped. Fatu hit a super kick and set up Priest for a super kick of his own. Strowman then ran in, and they hit a stacked superplex powerbomb spot that was really cool, and then the USA Network is censoring holy shit chants. At one point, the fight spills to the outside. Fatu's chokeslammed on the announce table. We go back into the ring, and Fatu takes control on Strowman, hitting him with a series of hip attacks against the turnbuckle. Fatu then proceeds to put a chair around the neck of Strowman, but Strowman gets up, fights out of it, and hits Fatu with the chair. Strowman then wraps the chair around Fatu's neck, but before he can do anything, Solo jumps upon the apron out of nowhere, wearing the all black again, hits him with a Samoan spike, Strowman that is. Sikoa then tried to sneak away. This, though, brought out Cody Rhodes. Tama Tonga showed up to rescue Sikoa, and Sikoa accidentally took out Tonga with another Samoan spike. Fatu then jumped out of the ring to get in Solo's face, so we're building to that. Is that our Mania match? Solo versus Jacob? But this gave Priest the opportunity, though, to clothesline Fatu into the timekeeper's area and out of the match. Rhodes hit Sikoa with a crossroads on the floor, and then back in the ring, Strowman went for a power slam on Priest, but slid out and hit a South of Heaven on Strowman and got the victory. So there we go. Strowman gets pinned, Priest wins, and Priest is now in the Elimination Chamber. So let's look at the lineup for that match as well. As far as the chamber does go. As far as the men's chamber does go. We got John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Damian Priest. All so far locked in to the Elimination Chamber with one spot left going to either Seth Rollins or Finn Balor. Let me know who you think in the comments or the chat, but I think it's going to be Seth. Seth in the chamber. That's my prediction. Seth beats Finn. So after the match, Cody and Damian shake hands, kind of gazed at each other, gazed at the Mania sign. Then it seemed like Sikoa and Jacob are going to have a match at Mania. That's what it feels like. But with all of that, that was SmackDown. Not a bad episode of SmackDown. It's just, it felt so long. Freaking so long. But let's get the poll going here really fast. What did you think of SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Let's go check the other polls really fast as well. As far as the Threads poll does go, 67% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 17% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 85% liked the show. Wow. 10% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. Looking at the community post poll, I guess you would call it, 85% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. Dang. Another good one here. Looking at the live poll, 79% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. So yeah, seems like majority liked tonight's Smackdown. I mean, I liked it. I just thought it felt so long. And everyone that's voted on Twitch liked the show. So, hey, kudos. Tomorrow is Vengeance Day. Not doing a review of that tomorrow. Might do one Sunday morning. If not Monday, we will do a review of Vengeance Day. I just got to see how my weekend's going to go because I have some things I got to do. Got some other content I got to create. Got the NASCAR races this weekend. NASCAR's back, ladies and gentlemen. Frickin' Parker Kligerman winning that truck race. Hell yeah. So with all of that, though, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, remember, in a couple of hours, AEW Grand Slam Australia will be live in Australia, not airing anywhere, but spoilers be warned. Spoilers will be out there by the time you guys wake up in the morning, and then it'll air tomorrow night. So with that, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.